Welcome to Audrey's Southern Cooking. My name is Nita. If you're new here, welcome to my kitchen. If you've been here many times before, welcome to my kitchen. We are going to do some fun things today. We're doing one basic item, but we're doing two different ingredients. I know, it's kind of confusing, so let me explain. We are gonna make pickles. We're gonna do bread and butter pickles, and we're gonna do a garlic dill pickle. That's gonna be exciting. I've already got my jars in the water going, got my lids and my rings, so I'm gonna show you what ingredients we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with the garlic dill, and then I'm gonna show you how to put it all together. So let's get started. All right, for the garlic dill pickles, I've already sliced up my pickles. I got some of these, and I also got some of the bigger ones, the longer ones, but I did get these at the store. What I would suggest if you get those at the store is to wash those with some soap and water, and then make sure you rinse all the soap off and let them dry. And I'll show you how to do these little pickles, and we're gonna put them in here. But first, let me go over the ingredients. So we're gonna have 3 pounds of the cucumbers. This is for the garlic dill. I have white vinegar, 2 cups of vinegar. I have 2 cups of water. I have 2 tablespoons of pickling salt, which is right here. This is what it will look like. I also have 4 teaspoons. That's just my jars back there. I have 4 teaspoons of dill because I could not find fresh dill. So I just bought the dill weed. And of course the garlic, and it's gonna take 1 clove per jar. But these are pretty good sized cloves, and I'm gonna show you how to get those peeled, see how that looks. And I'm gonna turn it into this. And then what I'm probably gonna do is cut this into at least half and maybe more. And I'm gonna do a few jars hot. As you well know, my boyfriend likes hot stuff. So I bought some habaneros. So we're gonna cut some of those and put those in a few of the jars. We're gonna see how many jars we have, and we'll put those in. Also, a little of alum, A-L-U-M. I'm gonna put about 1/2 teaspoon in each jar. That's gonna help make it crispy. Go ahead and grab your sweet tea. You're gonna have that for this recipe. Okay, let me move this out of the way where you can see what I'm doing here. Let's start with the garlic. So what I have is the whole garlic here. Now I've taken it, broke this up, one of these up. There's several cloves like this one in there. They're actually pretty large. So what you do is you're just gonna lay it down. If you can see that little end where it grows, and then your little sprout. Let's just cut that little end off. Move that trash over. Cut the other end off. Put these in the trash. Now you're gonna take your knife and lay it flat on it, not up and down, and please don't put the blade up, flat, just like this. And you're gonna hit it with the palm of your hand. And when you do that, it kind of breaks up that clove, kind of cracks it open. And you're just gonna peel this off. And it's that simple. Put this here in the trash. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it in a half. And I think I'm gonna cut that, so we're gonna have quarters. I'm gonna do that with all of these. The mashing of the garlic also releases the oil in it. So you'll notice that your hands are pretty sticky. But that's okay, just keep going. You can wash them if you like, but there's no point right now. All right, so there's your garlic. And we can just stick these cut pieces, we can just set those right in your jar. Now take your cucumber, I've already washed it, it's dry. Now, you don't have to use one of these little crinkles. You can use a straight edge knife if you want. You just cut those ends off. Push that to the side. And you're just gonna slice it. Try not to get it too thick. I'd probably go maybe 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's all you're gonna do with this. And those are ready to be pickled. Now what I've done is these over here in this big bowl with the dark skin. These are my long cucumbers that I bought at the store. And I have these are a little separate. I'm just gonna keep them separate and try to keep them in separate jars. I'm kind of weird like that. You do not have to. Just real quick, and then I'm gonna show you this jalapeno. That quick, that it's all put together. All right, so on the jalapeno, now if you want to wear gloves, I would recommend that because you may forget and wash your face, touch your eyes or something. But I'm gonna wash my hands after this before we get started. Cut that end off. Now what you would normally do, if you devein this, that'll take off a little bit of that heat. You can take the veins out and the seeds. My boyfriend likes it hot, so that's how I'm gonna leave it. And what I'm gonna do, I think, is just slice it and leave them in rings if I had a better knife. You see? Even though that's kind of ugly, that'll be in my pickle jar. And I'm just gonna do a couple. If I need another one, I'll cut another one. All right, that's ready. And before you do anything else, if you're gonna cut anything else, I would wash my knife and my cutting board if you don't want the heat. I'm gonna be back. We're gonna move over to the stove and the cooktop, sorry, and we're gonna see the jars. All right, so you see my jars. The reason I'm boiling my jars is to make sure they're sterilized. The lid, they have to be hot to go on there, so I'm gonna turn those way down. And my rings are over here. I'm gonna turn those way down. But I want to first, take this pot and I'm going to make my brine. So what I'm going to do, so you can see, is move this over. And let that stay on that eye. Put this pot on. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm taking my water. Remember, it's just 2 cups. I don't think this is going to be enough. My 2 cups of vinegar, so that's going to make 4 cups. And then I'm putting my salt in. That's 2 cups of vinegar, 2 cups of water, and then I have 2 tablespoons of pickling salt. So on this, you're gonna bring it to a boil. I'm gonna get me a spoon rather. I'm gonna get me a spoon and mix this up. All right, so we're just gonna stir this a little bit. I don't wanna use a whisk because I don't wanna mess up my hot bottom. All right, so what I'm gonna do, we're gonna move over while this is coming to a boil. I'm gonna move you over so you can see me do the jars. All right, I got my butter knife and I got me a little plastic one too. I'm gonna try it first. So you're just gonna run this down and make sure, because I can see air bubbles coming up. Kind of move your cucumbers around just a little. Push them down in there. Take your little magnet one. Be careful, get over here and get you a ring. A lid. Put that there. Make sure you got the right ring, because I do have some smaller ones in there. Tighten it down to just where it's tight enough with your hand. You don't want to super tight it down. Move that over and I'll show you just a second. Then I'm going to show you this jar again. Run your knife in here. You want to get all your air bubbles out. Put those cucumbers down. Get a little metal one. Grab a lid. And sometimes you come up with two. That's okay. I'm going to need the other one. Put that on there and grab a ring. Tighten it down to where it's snug. Let me move the camera back up. I've moved my water back over here. Got my little pinchers. Grab your jar like this and set it in the hot water. Do another one. Set it in hot water. And these are going to sit in there for at least 8 minutes. I would probably go 15, and then we'll take them out and set them back on the towel. And I'm going to work on these, and when we get through, when I get done with the pickles, the canning them, putting the liquid in here and getting them in the pot, then we'll come back and I'll show you how they look after they're done. Look at how pretty that is with the peppers. Look at these jars and how pretty they are. See the garlic in the bottom there and the garlic on the side? So I got 6 jars. I got 3 with habanero and 3 without. Welcome back to the counter. You saw my pickles. I just took them out of the water. They're very hot. You can see them sitting over there. So I'm going to show you one up close. It's extremely hot. So I'll let those sit and let those cool off. You might hear a popping.